finally gone, at least for now and for your Valentine's Day. But we're bringing the first alert for the chance of rain and even strong to severe storms returning Saturday. We're on your side with the timing of Saturday's first alert, weather day threat, and what we're expecting.
And we're taking a look at the damage left behind from yesterday's storms and take you across the southeast to other areas impacted by tornadoes.
And we are sharing your weather photos sent to us through the First Alert weather app and across social media as we've been tracking some very active weather.
Live on your side, First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
Well, we've had some extra weather happening, so a lot to talk about. It has been very, very active over the past few weeks.
Oh, yeah, it has. So now we're back to cold, and then we have more storms coming. We're warming up, then we're cold again.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Are we ready for spring? I feel like we may be ready for spring, which I know comes with its own caveats.
All right, I'm going to say this, not so fast, not so fast. Okay, we've got some more cold weather tonight. It is chilly out there. We're actually dropping into the freezing range tonight. So yeah, break out the heavy jacket again. Early tomorrow morning, one of the next big things, lows down into the 20s. Right now we're seeing temperatures. I noticed that Coleman, we're already in the upper 30s, so we're not far from dropping into that freezing range. So what's next? Yeah, freezing temperatures tonight, but we also have another First Alert weather day we've been telling you about. That is coming up Saturday night and into Sunday. And what I'm seeing here, another line of storms. We see that a lot this time of the year. It's going to move across the state, squall line, and bring a risk for some damaging wind gusts. And there could be a few tornadoes out of that too, so we need to keep an eye on it. I think the severe weather parameters, last night they were more confined to South Alabama. I do see those ingredients lifting a bit further north late on Saturday, so we're going to have to watch that risk and make sure we are weather alert over the weekend. So as far as the threats for that system, that's again for the weekend. I just want to show you here quickly where we're at on the temperatures across the area. First Alert AccuTrack, and again you can see even Jasper, Aniana, Hamilton, not seeing some 30s there to the north. All those flashing polygons, that is where we have active river flood warnings, and we'll probably see more of those as we have the heavier rain with that system this weekend. But no rain expected, of course, no precipitation issues with these kind of temperatures overnight tonight. We're expecting lows back in the 20s and freezing range. Highs tomorrow close to 60 degrees. So if you have plans for Valentine's Day, weather stays calm through tomorrow. But late tomorrow night, we could get a few showers as the atmosphere sort of starts to prime in for this severe weather risk. And this is our team's severe weather outlook on Saturday. What we're thinking, we do see the greatest risk back into the western part of the state arriving after 9 o'clock Saturday night, and that threat continues to the east, but it will grow more or become more limited as the night goes on. That said, there's still a risk, so we need to be alert even for eastern areas overnight. Make sure we have the First Alert weather app just in case we do see some advisories pop up. And let's go ahead and throw on again just some more specifics on the times. And I know this says Saturday p.m. into Sunday a.m. You can see there 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. For far western areas, maybe as early as 7 o'clock. And then you can see there after 10 o'clock to around 3 o'clock in the morning across central areas, and midnight to 4 a.m. across far eastern areas. So that's going to be Saturday night. So during the day on Saturday, maybe you're heading over to the Alabama-Auburn game, have plans during the day. We're going to reach highs around 70. It's actually not too bad during the day on Saturday, but during the day on Sunday, it is going to turn a lot colder once all that rain moves out of here. And we will see a system around the middle of next week, and as we talk more about the long-range forecast coming up, we'll have that later on Weather Extra.
Taking you across central Alabama now, where flooding brought intense damage. Check out these images from Ragland, where Providence Road is closed due to being washed out. Drivers were asked to avoid the area where the road has collapsed because it could cave in further around the edges. It will take weeks for the road to fully reopen. And we also take you to Thorsby, which saw dangerous flood conditions last night. So many photos sent into our First Alert Weather app, and we wanted to share some of these images with you right here. You can see how deep the waters were outside of Thorsby Villas. These were shared by Donna Howell.
Coleman, check out these photos shared by the Coleman County Road Department. The conditions causing the Coleman County School District to delay schools for 2 hours this morning. They needed time to check the roads. This ensured they were keeping the safety of students, staff, and bus drivers a priority. Well, meteorologist Megan Thomas joins us now with a recap of yesterday's first alert weather day for flooding and how much rain we've seen thus far for the month of February.
Yesterday was a very active, wet day across the state, leading to several inches of rain and flooding issues here in the central portion of the state and then back through portions of South Alabama. Lots of storm reports, some of which were strong to severe. In fact, we had one tornado report. This one is up in the city of Coffeyville, Alabama, in Clark County. The National Weather Service going to go and survey that damage. And then we also had a report of a severe thunderstorm warning from Elmore to Autauga County. This one is actually in Elmore County. Winds were up to 56, 57, 60 miles an hour as this storm system came through. And look at the amount of rain in the past 24 hours across the south and up into the mid-Atlantic. We picked up 3 to 4 inches of rain through portions of Chilton, Talladega, Tallapoosa, Coosa counties, Cleburne. Very impressive rain totals, and it added to our bucket. For the month of February, we picked up 2.5+ inches of rain in the city of Birmingham. Tuscaloosa just over 2 inches, and Anniston a whopping 4+ inches of rain. Notice the average for the month. We should be somewhere near 5 inches of rain by the end of the month for Birmingham, a little over 5 in Tuscaloosa, and just over 5 in Anniston. And we could absolutely get 5+ inches of rain this month in Anniston, especially with the rain event that we're expecting over the course of the weekend. But y'all, we need it. This is the latest drought monitor released this morning. Severe drought still in place from Marengo to Perry, Chilton, Coosa, southern Talladega, and Clay counties. So every drop of rain is welcome across our end of the state.
Well, outside of Alabama, a suspected tornado in Wayne County, Mississippi caused damage to some buildings and even trapped some in their homes. Check out the video of some of that damage. The tornado touched down last night around 7:53 p.m. about 8 miles northwest of Waynesboro. There were reports of injuries, but thankfully no fatalities. There were also reports of trees down. Schools across the area were closed for today. And in 30 seconds, let's hear it for the girls. We let you know if you and your galentines need a sweater for dinner tonight, plus a first alert for the possibility of, winter weather returning to the south next week. We'll be right back.
And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Tania Michelle. We're taking a look outside on our First Alert AccuTrack satellite and radar, of course, at those conditions. We've been mentioning how it's so chilly this evening, and this is how cold it is right now. We're seeing temperatures already in the 30s across parts of the area. 37 in Marion County, 36 in Coleman, some low 40s in Jefferson, St. Clair County, down in Shelby, with some mid to upper 40s for some areas farther south like Bibb and in Perry County. So we mentioned having that sweater and jacket if you have plans tonight, but this weekend we will see more rain and possible storms in the forecast. I know you're seeing some sunshine icons on Saturday. We will catch some breaks early in the day, so it won't be a terrible day. Yes, clouds will start to roll in throughout the day, and especially for the evening and nighttime hours, with that greatest rain chance, like Wes was saying, really for your Saturday night, overnight into your early Sunday. Sunday will trend a lot cooler for those afternoon highs, with temperatures really topping out just below 60 degrees. So another day you're going to want to have that sweater and jacket, but we're tracking cold conditions again as we approach early next week. We'll have more on the cold in just a bit, but let's talk about that dinner cast tonight. If you have some Galentine's plans, here's what you can expect. You better hurry up because we don't need you being late. 7 p.m. temperatures in the low 40s, staying in the low 40s to at least 8 o'clock, but by 9 p.m. many areas going to be in the upper 30s. But what about Friday? Friday's forecast looks pretty nice. It will be chilly, so another day you want to wear something warm, cute, and cozy. Lots of sunshine. We'll catch anywhere from mostly sunny, partly cloudy skies, and then increasing cloud coverage Friday night. But temperatures for the late afternoon hours topping out just below 60 degrees. So that's a look at your Galentine's and your Valentine's forecast. Even though things will be looking chillier tomorrow, can you believe that the last month was one of the hottest Januaries on record globally? Meteorologist Lauren Linehan is going to join join us now with the weather lowdown on this research. Lauren.
Yeah, you know, it seems counterintuitive, Tania, because if we remember January was abnormally cold, not just here in Alabama, but really a lot of the U.S. But remember, when we talk about global temperatures, we are looking at the global scale, not just one area. So if we actually look at North America as a whole, it was the 10th warmest January on record. And you know what state actually had the warmest temperatures? Alaska. And because Alaska was so abnormally warm, that actually allowed a cold air outbreak to sink down farther south. So we can blame Alaska for our January cold. But then we go further south into the southern hemisphere. For South America, it was the 4th warmest January on record. And then we go over into the eastern hemisphere. Europe had the 3rd warmest January on record. Down in Africa, the 5th warmest January on record. And we just can't deny that we have been seeing a trend since the Industrial Revolution for warming temperatures across the globe. Asia had the 3rd warmest January on record. Remember, when we talk about climate, we are looking at patterns over decades. When we talk about weather, that's more tangible. That can change from day to day, week to week, month to month. Australia, 2nd warmest January on record. And then if we look at the ocean as a whole across the globe, sea surface temperatures in January were the 2nd warmest on record. And in the northern hemisphere, they were actually the warmest on record, those surface temperatures. And in the southern hemisphere, 2nd warmest on record. And then as far as January, I know this is a lot of stats we're throwing at you, but the global average temperature was about 2.39 degrees above average. So that's what we're looking at in terms of the warming climate. And you can kind of see it here when we look at the contrast between land and ocean temperature departures in January. So notice across Europe, into Asia, even into Africa, you can see how temperatures were anomalously warm. And if you look at where those blue spots are, they're pretty rare. You can see it actually up in Greenland and then here in the U.S. So one of the places that we were seeing some colder spots. But we also want to look at the possibility of some snow, maybe back in the forecast for the deep south. But we will be taking a look at that coming up in just a bit. In the meantime, Tania, what do we got coming up after the break?
Well, Lauren, we're going to talk about Saturday's First Alert Weather Day and how one flower shop is preparing for Valentine's Day in spite of the rain. We'll be right back. Because you saw me looking, right? I was looking, 'cause I was like, I didn't know where your graphics come from. I was going to help it.
Well, one of the big questions, can we see some winter weather next week? Well, you can see some of the long-range models showing next week some more cold air on the way. We'll need to watch. You know, it's still way too soon to know any specifics. I will say northern areas, though, will need to keep an eye out for the possibility of maybe a close call, perhaps around Wednesday and next week. But we will see some cold rain coming back by next Wednesday. And what this does tell us is, hey, wintertime is far from over. Let's go back over to the models, though, and let's walk through this. I want to show you first off, coming up over the next 24 hours, you can see through tonight temperatures will be dropping into the freezing range. It's going to be cold tonight. We could see some upper 20s and low 30s out there early tomorrow morning, and then for the rest of the day tomorrow, Valentine's Day, as Tania was talking about, there will be plenty of sun in the mix, and I think afternoon highs around 60 degrees. Notice though some showers come in late tomorrow night and a few showers around during the early morning, but that's going to give way to some breaks during the day on Saturday. Now it is going to be breezy, but watch this as we go into the day. Notice the temperatures there. Look at Tuscaloosa, 76. So we're going to have quite a warm up during the day, and that kind of gets us primed in for that risk of storms. And we'll need to keep an eye out on what's happening to the west. I'm seeing a line of storms that moves in late. This is showing 2 o'clock in the morning, that line reaching Tuscaloosa, Jasper, over towards places like Pleasant Grove and Birmingham, Bessemer, Coleman. Yes, we will have some heavy rain with this, but it is a more progressive system. You can see it quickly races on to the east around 4 o'clock in the morning. Likely will weaken some as it moves further east. I do see the greatest severe weather parameters over the west and southwest areas, but it's still Thursday. A lot could change here, so check in for updates as we fine-tune that weekend forecast. But that's why we have a first alert weather day. Severe weather risk. We need to be weather alert. Another impactful system overnight Saturday into Sunday, and you can see why. We go from 70 back into the 20s by Monday morning. Another big drop in temperatures. A powerful cold front that moves across the area. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, we start out dry, freezing at night, and again that close call around Wednesday of next week. Could see some rain, and towards the end of the week, it looks seasonably cool. We'll see freezing conditions at night, but right now that following weekend looks like dry conditions will be happening. How about some weather in the classroom? And well, right here on Weather Extra, I want to share some photos from a visit I had today. I was over in Talladega, and I want to thank the Talladega Library for having me there today to talk about my new book and talk about weather and the First Alert weather team. And it was great seeing Mickey's mom there today, and they had lots of goodies, including some cake that we really enjoyed here in the First Alert Weather Center, right?
Cake was great.
Yeah, cake was great. Tania joins us right now as we're going to be talking more about beyond the 7-day forecast and what we're going to be seeing as we go into next week. It looks like that Wednesday system kind of tricky, and the models have been signaling far north Alabama. Could be a close call with some wintry precipitation.
Oh yeah, Wes, something to keep our eyes on for sure, and I'm sure people are hoping they can squeeze out another snow day.
There you go.
Can we bring it to them?
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say snow day. Not here.
I said that would be people would be happy for it, right? Or are you ready for spring? Well, let's just talk about what's happening beyond the 7-day really quickly here. We're going to start off with our temperature outlook, February 21st to the 27th. It looks like the U.S. is kind of battling the hot and cold. Above average temperatures to the west, to the east, below average, and that includes us right here across the southeast and in parts of central Alabama. And as we look at our rainfall, precipitation outlook, I should say, February 21st to the 27th, much of the U.S. is going to be dealing with more below average rainfall, and the only place that I'm seeing above average rainfall is Florida. But for us here, we could be drying out as we close out the month of February. And this is just one weather model. Wes was just showing you the comparison of models, so don't get your hopes up for any possible snow or flurries or wintry mix next week. It's something that we'll diligently watch. We do need to worry about Saturday first, though, that chance for storms overnight into Sunday. But as we look beyond the 7-day into middle of next week, this is our GFS model, definitely showing that possibility. Of course, one model cannot determine whether or not we can see some winter precipitation. So it's something, again, we are watching very closely. Either way, I do think we'll see anywhere from rain to wintry mix the middle of next week. And then we'd bring in Wednesday night, maybe some rain. And then we're also tracking some more wet weather, possibly close to the end of the month. But it seems like we'll have several days of dry weather, which I'm not complaining about, at least through until about February the 24th. So we'll keep an eye on those rain and possible wintry mix chances over the next several days. But of course, you can always check in with us right here on First Weather Extra for updates on that. But even though conditions will be dry and cool for us here tomorrow for your Valentine's Day, businesses in California are prone to flooding are preparing for the worst, including one flower shop that's doing what it can to prepare for possible flooding as they work to fill Valentine's Day orders. Fox's Tony Shin has more on this.
Oh, this is heavy. Okay. It's one of the busiest times of the year at Native Poppy Flower Shop in Mission Valley. Valentine's Day is only hours away, and workers are scrambling to fill hundreds of orders.
It's controlled chaos. There is a lot going on. We have to make a lot of flowers in the next couple of days.
Co-owner Natalie Gill isn't just worried about all the flowers, packaging, and shipping. She's also concerned about what she sees outside. A light rain that is expected to get heavier and heavier as the hours pass.
I need a video of this for insurance. Nobody's going to believe me that it was like this.
Last year, a few weeks before Valentine's Day, this is what her flower shop looked like. It was flooded, along with other nearby businesses off Mission Gorge Road. It was January 22nd, a day she will never forget.
And when I walked up to the door at our spot, it's a glass door, and I looked at it and it looked like an aquarium. It was 3 feet of water behind the door.
Natalie says they lost about $20,000 worth of inventory, as well as 2 delivery vans, which were thankfully covered by insurance. Since then, she has taken steps to protect her business, including adding floorboards to the garage door.
We're going to sandbag tonight. We're not going to leave the vans here overnight. We're going to bring them to my house, which is up the hill.
This storm channel is behind the business, and it runs through Mission Valley. Natalie says last year there was a lot of vegetation and debris in it, and this year she's not sure how much the city has cleared out to prevent it from flooding again.
It's hard to tell because the vegetation grows so quickly, and because of this area, it's kind of a dumping ground. It's just kind of like trash is back there all the time. So I think even though there was an effort made, it's just probably hard to maintain.
Which is why she's hoping that the channel can handle the heavy rain, so her Valentine's Day won't be washed away like it nearly was a year ago.
It was so much water so quickly.
Wow. Well, we'll have more on our weather here and our rain chances for the weekend, plus a look at your weather photos right after the break.
Okay, we have some lovely photos. Martis Mill Falls. This is not far from the Bluntsville area, right there in beautiful Blount County. I always say beautiful Blount County from Bob Phillips.
And we know this one, Sunny Bear Farms. Brandy Denard, oh, she has the best sunset views.
She does. She's got a great setup out there. And hey, Rick Freeman, one of our weather watchers, not too shabby either. The sunset up in Piedmont. Love those winter sunsets.
Yeah, you can't beat that. It's super
We couldn't get much. It was all gloomy yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Yeah, not the best photos.
None of those sunset photos came in for yesterday.
Hey, but listen, right now, happening right now, we missed the full moon last night because it was so cloudy. The snow moon, it's rising right now, so you'll catch it this evening with the sky clear. You'll have to send us some of those photos.
Oh, yeah, we'd love to share them tonight. But, I mean, we do have some active weather for the weekend, right?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Saturday night and into Sunday, and Lauren will be tracking that over the weekend. Of course, it seems like it always happens on Saturdays. What's the deal here?
I don't know. If we could stop having severe threats on Saturday nights specifically, I know myself, Matt Daniel, and then if there's severe threat, Wes
all of
gotta
us will
come
be
in.
grateful.
Yeah, all of us would be really grateful.
Yeah.
I think you guys would be grateful too. Like, stop having severe weather on Saturdays. Respectfully.
Well, hopefully it behaves, and we still have another day to watch this, but we do
do.
see a risk overnight Saturday. That's why we have a first alert weather day. So check in tonight for updates starting at 9 o'clock, and we'll see you back here. Stay warm out there. Chilly night on the way. We'll see you tonight.